Hi, I'm Glo, and welcome to Glo's Kindred Kitchen. I just got to show you this, you guys. We're going to have breakfast. I made blueberry buttermilk pancakes. Look how delicious that is. This
Looks
is a
good.
recipe from a friend of mine on YouTube. She has a channel which is called Viola's Baked and Cooked Delights. And I got to tell you, she's an excellent cook. She does everything by step instructions. And when I saw this on her channel, I thought, I've got to make this. And this is so good. I'm going to take a bite now so we can see what it's like. But it smells delicious. And I poured warm maple syrup over the top, just like she did in her video. Oh, Viola, these are so good. This is definitely a keeper. This is going to be one of our breakfast items that we'll cook in a rotation. And on the bacon, I baked in the oven while I was doing my pancakes. So if you would like to know how to bake this, or not bake it, but to cook it, join me over at the stove and we'll do this step by step, just like Viola. See you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to Glo's Kindred Kitchen, and I'm Glo. Well, today I am going to be making some pancakes. And these pancakes were shared on YouTube by one of the girls that I subscribe to. The name of her cooking channel is Viola's Baked and Cooked Delights. And I gotta tell you, everything she has on that channel just looks delicious. And I have made a few of her things before, but I wanted to share this, and I haven't made this one, but guess what? I have no reservations about it because Viola is an excellent cook. So anyway, these are, I'm calling Viola's Blueberry Buttermilk Pancakes. And so let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is make up some buttermilk. I don't have any buttermilk on hand, but I know how to make it. So you can use either white vinegar or you can use lemon juice. Lemons pair excellent with blueberries, and here's my blueberries for this. So I had a lemon in the refrigerator, and so I went ahead and I brought it to room temperature. And also, if you warm it up in your microwave for a little bit or put it in some hot water, you will get more juice out of that lemon than if it was, instead of when it's really cold. So what I did is I zested my lemon, and then I cut it in half, and then I reamed it on my juicer here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour this juice. It was a small lemon, so this is probably 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, but it'll be fine for this. The reason why I'm doing this right now is because you want this to set aside and turn into buttermilk here pretty soon. So I'm just going to set that over here so it's out of our way. Now, in Viola's recipe, it's very simple and it'd be easy to remember because almost every ingredient in here is one. We have 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. We have 1 tablespoon of sugar. We have 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And the way I'm remembering this is these two here will equal 1. And then 2 tablespoons of either oil or butter, whatever you have, you can put in here. Today, I'm just going to use cooking oil. And I'm going to put the zest in here. Now, Viola didn't have that in her recipe, but they would be fine either way. And then 1 egg, which I have here. And the other ingredient is 1 cup of milk. And then, of course, we're making it into buttermilk here, which is the with the lemon juice. So that's over here. So as you can see, almost everything is 1. And you can see already how this is already starting to thicken up.
Yes, it is.
So let's go ahead, and what I would like to do first is mix the dry ingredients in here. So I have my 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I have my 1 tablespoon of sugar. I have my 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I have my 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is sea salt that I'm using. Now, you know, I'm sure you all have seen in the grocery stores and stuff, they have the pre-packaged pancake mixes. And yeah, those are okay. But they do have a lot of additional ingredients in them to store them on your shelf. So, for myself at least, in our family, I usually have always made my pancakes, waffles, whatever, cakes from scratch. I just feel like it's better not to have all those extra additives. And I usually have all these ingredients on hand anyway. But either one are good. So let's go ahead and just stir this up here. There we go. So now our next thing is I'm going to crack an egg and get that ready to go. There. And let's see. I think I'm pretty much set to start in on the other stuff. So I'm going to turn my pan on medium-low. I'm using a cast iron pan. And we're going to need to have this warm up for a moment. So I'll be back in just a few moments and we'll continue on. Well, we're back and I have my pan heating here now. And I'm glad I took a little break because I have bacon in the oven. Yes, in the oven. I bake my bacon. Makes a lot less mess. In fact, I will put a link at the bottom of this along with Viola's YouTube channel on how to bake bacon in the oven. It is so easy and doesn't, you know, make a mess, so you can do other things while you're cooking. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to show you this buttermilk that we just made, how that looks. See how nice it's coming together there?
Looks good, Miss Cole.
Yeah. So we've got all of our dry ingredients here incorporated, and I just took my little whisk here and stirred it up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting all these other ingredients in. So I'm going to just go ahead and put my buttermilk right in here. And I usually don't pour it all in right away. That way, if I need more, I can have it, or less. It just depends on the temperature, humidity, everything. So I find that less is more when you're starting out. And then I'm going to put my beaten egg in here. And also, I forgot to mention, 1 teaspoon rather, of real vanilla. And that's just going to help bring out the flavor of the batter and also the blueberries and everything. And then I have 2 tablespoons of cooking oil here. And 1/8 of a cup equals 2 tablespoons. And so this is actually 1/8 of a cup here. There we go. So let's just go ahead and combine this. See how easy this is to bring together, and it just comes together in no time at all.
Looks pretty easy, Miss Chloe.
It is. And these blueberries we purchased are really nice. They're nice big ones. And the bigger ones I have found are sweeter. So when you're shopping for blueberries, if you find the larger ones, they're going to be sweeter. About like that size. Sometimes you'll even find them bigger than that. And I think we can add a little bit more of this milk.
My grandmother used to drink that stuff straight. Oh, I don't know how she did it.
Oh, I don't either. And I know people that love their cornbread and buttermilk to eat.
You mean
I think
to dip it in it?
they put it right in it and soak it up.
Oh.
And eat it that way. I think it's something you probably need to be raised with.
I love real milk, regular milk, but not buttermilk unless it's mixed in with something.
There we go. Guess what? We're putting all of that in there.
Go for it.
And I think our pan's ready. Life's good. Okay, so now I have my zest of that lemon, and I would say that's about a teaspoon. And then I got some blueberries here too. Let's see.
How many was that?
That's about a cup. There we go. Actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest in. I have some extra blueberries in the refrigerator, and we'll use that to serve on top. So I use a ladle to pour my batter in. There we go. So now, a little trick to know if your pan's hot enough or not is, and I have this on medium-low, so see how hot that is?
Pretty
that
hot.
Water just dances in that pan. That's what you want. I'm actually going to turn it down to 2 because cast iron is great for cooking, you know, pancakes and actually lots of stuff because it conducts really well with heat. But because of that, you really got to pay attention that you don't have this screaming hot or you're going to burn your pancakes.
Don't want that.
No. So let's see if this batter's about ready. You just want to put a little in there. And you can see how it's shimmering, so you know it's right. It's ready to go. So let's go ahead and put our first one in.
That's going to be a good size one.
Yeah. So I'm just putting a few more blueberries around there. So one of the ways you can tell when your pancake is ready to flip is, what I'm doing here is just kind of spreading it so that it comes together and be a little prettier.
More of a circle.
Yeah. Is you're going to start getting bubbles around the outer edges of your pancake. See, some of them are already starting to form. And then you'll get some that are starting like here in the middle. So we'll be back in probably less than a minute, and I'll show you what it looks like before you're ready to flip it. Well, our pancake here is about ready to flip. See how the bubbles are all around here and it's starting to dry out a little?
Yes.
So let's just see what we can do here. And this is a biggie. So when they're big like this, I usually take my spatula and go underneath all the way around so I know that nothing is sticking. And 1, 2, 3. Look how beautiful that is, you guys.
Looks good.
Oh, Viola, this is a great recipe. I can tell already. I knew it would be, though. She's a great cook. So anyway, we're going to let this cook again for probably a minute, minute and a half. And then it'll be ready to take up. And the way you'll be able to tell if it's ready to take up is it will be nice and brown underneath.
Looks good.
Yep. It smells good too.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, it looks like it's ready to take up. One of the ways I tell if these blueberry pancakes are ready to take up, see how those blueberries are starting to cook in there?
Yes.
And the juices, can you see how that juice is starting to rise, like especially like on that one? Now it's starting to rise more in there.
Yes.
That's an indication to me that it's probably ready. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to flip it over here in the pan so we can look. Yep, look at that.
Looks good.
That's what you call an excellent pancake as far as This is going to be delicious. The color's great, everything about it. Viola, your recipe, I can tell, is awesome. So anyway, I'm going to put a little bit more oil in the pan.
I meant to tell you, that looked like that scene from Uncle Buck with John Candy where he's flipping that pancake over in the morning with a snow shovel.
Oh yes, that was funny, wasn't it?
That was hilarious.
That was a good movie.
Uncle Buck.
So I'm going to go ahead and just spread these blueberries out so it's a little bit more even. I'll have to tell you a little story. My youngest brother, I had 4 brothers and no sisters, and it was a Saturday morning, and we were sitting around the table eating breakfast. And my mom had made pancakes for all of us, and we were serving them. And my youngest brother, when he was given his pancakes, he was just as serious as he could be, because his were a little darker in color. He says, I don't want any of these dirty pancakes. I want the light ones. And we were just cracking up. And I'll never forget that. Every time we make pancakes, I think of that.
Who was that, Clarence?
Yes. He was so cute as a kid. Still is cute. So I have my burner also, it's on 2.5. So you're going to have to find for yourself how your stove cooks, what would be best for you for your, cooking your pancakes. But 2.5 is usually what mine is. I usually put it at 3 though when I'm preheating my cast iron pan. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just let this continue, and I'll be back towards the end and we'll show you the rest. Well, the last pancake's ready to take up. We have a total of 6 from this recipe, and they're all really nice size. But look how beautiful that is, and you can see how the blueberries are bursting in it.
Yes.
You'll see here how that's what happens as they're cooking. That smells so good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner off. I just wanted to show you some of these blueberries, how big they are. Look at that.
You get a close-up here, Miss Glow. That's pretty big.
Yeah. So, but that's unusual to find them quite that big. But anyway, Viola, thank you for this recipe. I'll tell you, I can't wait to take a sampling of this. So, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it, and give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you later. And again, thanks, Viola. Bye.